everybody, when you all know it's me, Voltage, and I've actually decided that I want to rank all of Smash Brackets episodes and how they've done in them, and there's 15 episodes that they're doing fights in them, and I'm going to rank them all from worst to best. 15th on the list is Lucina versus Rob. The unfortunate part of it being only 24 seconds is that it doesn't help a boost in its rating at all. That just makes it the worst episode they made by far. I mean, the animation is still really good, but the time that it takes and plus the effort they put into it, it's just not enough to compensate. But like the fight ends up how it should end being probably. This is the alternate ending because I can't find the original ending. This is about how I think the fight would end. Except her stabbing it through the battery and just getting herself zapped. Either way, this fight is one of the worst in my opinion. I'm going to show you 14th in a second. With it being the first fight ever released on their channel, Link vs. Ridley is not a long one, being 1 minute and 6 seconds. And it's not the best one, but it's 14th, better than Lucina vs. Rob, so I'll give it credit. The animation style is pretty good, but it could be better. But for a starting off channel, I'll give them pretty good props. It's a pretty good video for just starting off. And it goes like how the fight would go, I'm pretty sure. Besides, I think actually really would win this fight, honestly. But this video is like they're actually planning on redoing it. Along with Mario vs. Mega Man and King Dedede vs. King K. Rool. King K. Rool versus King Dedede. I think the winner will still be King Dedede. But Mario vs. Mega Man, I still think Mario would probably lose that. As for this, I'm not sure who would win, but I think really could probably both still pull the win off. Sonic and Fox is being redone as well. You know, the first fight looked pretty cool. This fight, overall, it's still pretty decent, but it's not the best at all. It deserves a 14th place spot, because all other fights are just better than it. I'm sorry, Link versus Ridley. And congratulations, Link, for moving on. Being the third fight they released, this is not a long animation either. King Dedede versus King K. Rool. This one, I give props to it. It's a good fight animation, but it's just not long enough. Like, say for example, Pikachu versus Pac-Man. That's a pretty long fight, and it's actually higher on the list than these other ones. It's quite farther up on the list. This one is just not good enough in length. But then again, it is one of the first fights they ever did, so it's still pretty good in my opinion. Either way, I gotta give this 13th place because it did not get any better than that. The old side ones, I just don't. They're just not long enough. I'm gonna go to the next one. The second fight they ever introduced is actually better than the third one. Mario vs. Mega Man may be a small video, being 1 minute 28 seconds, but it's still a little bit better than King K. Rool versus King Dedede and Link vs. Ridley and Lucina vs. Rob. This one, it actually uses the power-ups pretty well, and it features most everything they have. In just 1 minute 28 seconds, that's pretty impressive. It features most of Mario power-ups that he has. And it features a lot of Mega Man stuff, even though I don't know much about Mega Man. All I know with Smash Bros. Is that he sucks. And he's not fun to play as or play against. I'll give him props. He did good in this animation, but like it's still not the best by a mile. The next one, some of you guys might be mad at about, but his style is I just don't like it. I don't find it the best for me. Middle next fight. This may be a decently long video, being 1 minute 54 seconds, being Isabelle versus Ganondorf. I still don't like the hand-drawn style. The hand-drawn style is what gets it 11th place on the list. It's just not good enough in my opinion. It doesn't hold up to stuff like, say, Wario versus Lucas, Mewtwo versus Sephiroth, Pikachu versus Pac-Man, Yoshi versus Banjo-Kazooie, the latest episode. But even then, Yoshi Banjo-Kazooie has some flaws in it that'll put up later on. That'll give it the spot that it earns. Plus the fact that no hits ever landed in this fight as well gives it a little bit lower. No blows actually land on Isabelle or Ganondorf. But then again, Isabelle wouldn't want to get hit. She'd be quick to surrender. Which is how the fight would end, in my opinion. I would think so. being a really early fight for Midnight versus Marth, being the fourth fight they were released, it did decent getting 10th place in the list. It's got better than 4 of the fights that they did. It got better than the 4 of the fights that they made. No, 5 other fights. It earns 10th place because it actually features all that cool stuff and actually features some pretty stuff that it features stuff that I think would happen. Like here, Marth is fighting with Midnight Sword. That's very creative. Having Marth fight with Midnight Sword. But here, Meta Knight gives the sword back. He's an honorable fighter. He would do that in a real fight. He always does it for Kirby in the games. I imagine he would do that in this real fight. Overall, this is a very well animated fight, but it could have been a bit longer. It still earned 10th place, which is respectable for them. Next fight might piss some of you guys off, but I don't like it that much. Captain Falcon versus Falco. Well, what to say about this? It's very, very good animated, I'll give it that. But still, the length, 1 minute 48 seconds, still brings it down just slightly. It earns its 8th place finish. It earns 9th place finish. But its style is really good. And plus, like the close range fighting here is really cool. Like of how he managed to grab the grenade and actually throw it toward Falco to make the fog, and have him come through with fire. This stuff is really good. I'll give it that. But it's just not as good as the other ones. And the race track scenes here, that just slows it down a little bit and makes it a little less hype, in my opinion. The next fight is the one I'm pretty sure everyone would be pissed off about, because it got so low on the list. But, Sonic vs. Fox. Giving it an 8th place probably piss off a lot of people in the fight animation style, but it's long, I'll give it that. It's 3 minutes 39 seconds. It's a long fight, but I just don't like the style it's done in. Like, it's just too drawn out with Sonic, and plus, it's too drawn out. I mean, like, all of the fights that are above this one are actually action-packed. There's actually action going on between them. We're just Sonic being an idiot. And just dodging all the blows. And him being stupid and grabbing Fox's shoulder. Which is what started the fight. Like, he's just dodging and running around, which is just annoying. Sonic may be fast, but I really don't think he win this fight, actually. This fight is actually getting redone, and the Sonic move references. That's kind of thing that's annoying. The Sonic move was not the best. It's by no means good, but still, I just don't like this fight. Next fight, now, like, from this fight up, it starts getting better, in my opinion. The next fights up are just really good, in my opinion, for the top 7. Who said short fights have to be bad? Ryu versus Lucari being 3 minutes 13 seconds is still a very good fight, in my opinion. It has a lot of action in it, with Lucari being ruthless and not stopping attacking, which I actually think that Lucari would actually not stop attacking at all. Because he wants to train and get stronger. Because of Sephiroth massacring Mewtwo. And him using his orb here is actually pretty cool as well. This animation will just explain why it gets 7th place in my opinion. It'll just show. Balvora. Here's him using Swift in the push. I think that's Shadow Ball, maybe. This is by far by far a really good fight in my opinion. It just looks really awesome. The animation plus all the Kirby crap happening. That's just annoying, but it makes sense. Like that. Why does that always happen? Why is Kirby just sitting there doing nothing in these fights? Now here's where stuff gets serious. Like when he uses the sword dance, I like these parts really, like all this action is just really cool in these fights. Now I'm gonna go to the next fight, which is 6th place. Speak of the pink puffballs, they're both taking 6th place with Jigglypuff versus Kirby. This is a really, really good fight, except for this part. The Sonic move reference here is just brings it down quite a bit for me. The type of humor here is just not good, but the fight itself here is amazing. It's like it actually makes Jigglypuff a lot more stronger than she would appear to be in this fight. Because Jigglypuff is actually quite a bit strong with all the moves he can learn. I've learned myself. because she's got a very diverse move pool that she can use. The confusion, to confuse Kirby, that makes her a lot bigger threat. And the dancing aspect of this makes it a lot more, makes it look cool as well. Adding all the Kirby powers like Spark. The only negative is probably Kirby Sprite being a little bit too white, too pinkish white. In some points, but there. This part is amazing with Kirby just falling asleep and like, yeah, I don't want to fight anymore. Now I think this is Jigglypuff using Hyper Voice, which has a lot bigger effect on Kirby than I thought it would. Ice Thunderbolt right there, Flamethrower, Solar Beam or Hyper Beam. That's Ice Beam. Psychic. Fire Kirby. This is this is one of the healing moves. Wish, Refresh, something like that. Grass Knot. It uses lots of moves from that Kirby that Jigglypuff has, which is amazing. Psychic again. Now Jigglypuff's actually now Kirby's putting up a fight now again. Attract or Sweet Kiss, one of the two it was. Psychic. Uses Toxic right here, which is like, it brings everything into play, like what happened in this fight. It's very well done fight. I'll give him credit for that. But now, 5th place. Sure, I may love the little guy, but Pikachu versus Pac-Man, it still gets 5th place on my list, but it's not the best fight. I mean, it's like the beginning here is pretty drawn out, which makes me not like it a little bit. But it's not as bad as one beginning entrance to the fight. It showcases Pac-Man plus Pikachu very well in this fight, I would think. Plus the Pikachu sprite right here, I don't like it that much. It just looks really awkward. They could have used the regular Pikachu sprite instead of the fat Pikachu. The chubby Pikachu sprite. The fight itself is very, very good. The animation. It's really fast-paced. Having Pikachu use Rain Dance here is pretty cool. It showcased one of his good moves. Then he uses Thunder, which doesn't miss with Rain Dance. The Sonic X Pikachu ripoff move right there. This fight on the moving slope is pretty cool. I gotta admit, I love this part a lot. Having that little fight animation there dodging, that's a pretty cool fight animation part. Pikachu using Double Team, and Pac-Man using power-ups. And here's Pikachu using Thief to take his power-ups and then just zap them. Pretty good use of Thief right there. Then this part is where the fight turned really good because Pac-Man ended up fighting using power-ups. He used his zap power-up, but he ended up messing up in this part. Pikachu using Thunderbolt, I think. This part, whatever the hell is happening. That's the one part that this part's a little bit weird for me as well. I gotta admit. Next is going to be one of the. It may be a good fight, but Yoshi versus Banjo, the recent fight that they just made, the beginning part was way too drawn out and way too stupid and nonsensy for me to like it too much. All this nonsense happening is just crazy. With the Smash invitation for Banjo being a hoax of Waluigi. This part is what I don't like. This is just annoying. That part brings damage down a lot, in my opinion. The third wall register is like the attention to detail. That just peeves me. Why is this made this part or this animation? That brings it down so much, making it fourth place. It's a good fight. The rest of it is amazing. This fight part right here, this scene is just amazing. These fights and how they fight in many different locations. I love that. But it's just the beginning part that makes it so bad. Yeah, I heard the oof from Roblox when I was watching this. I mean, like, it uses all the stuff they have. Like, Banjo, he's using Kazooie for all the eggs and stuff they have. They use them pretty well. Yoshi using all his eggs and abilities, and plus, like, actually using his tongue for fights. That's really creative. Having using for, like, punching and that kind of stuff. And the marketplace scene. This part's really good. And it had Kirby again. I noticed that. They use everything to their advantage and actually use it pretty well. And having Kazooie be aware of what's happening. And telling a Banjo to stop being stupid and slowing him down. And helping Yoshi out. Having Yoshi use his fruits and in turn, and like all his abilities they have. And there's actually a lot of good blows happening in these fights. Like, the fight takes place in many different locations, which makes it a lot really good in my opinion. But this is only going to make it get third place make it get fourth place in my opinion. I'm going to go to third. There's 3 fights left, being Mewtwo vs. Sephiroth, Greninja vs. Diddy Kong, and Wario vs. Lucas. Who said short fights are bad? This fight being like 2 minutes 22 seconds is actually third place, being Greninja and Diddy Kong. It's a very good animation and very, 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 very good fights. It's action packed the entire way through and actually features all the stuff they have really, really well. I gotta admit that this fight, it surprised me when it was made. The first person angle right there for Diddy Kong was really cool. Having Diddy Kong use all the abilities and actually trying to fight back, when this is actually a closer fight than I thought. Having to use his tongue as well to try to fight. Pretty good point. Water Shuriken. Having Diddy Kong use his grenades and stuff like that. There's just small things to do in this animation to make it a lot better. Having use rope and then just start fighting back and using substitute toxic spikes. All this stuff adds to make this a lot better, makes it a much better animation, in my opinion. Having used potions now. Use an invincibility potion. And later on we're going to use Thief to steal his potion. Water Shuriken again. Using his jetpack. His guitar. Another good point for them. There's Kirby again. I saw that last time when I watched this. Having a throw grenade here. Like, these are all very good touches in the animation style. This part, it actually showcases Diddy having all stuff and how he actually act. Using Ice Punch and then Waterfall. I think that's Waterfall. Diddy Kong trying to use a potion. Greninja? He realized that, and he uses Thief, taking it from him. Drinks it. Secret Ninja attack, the final smash, bringing that, it was amazing. Then use Ice Punch to freeze him into him. Then I confuse a bit, then wrapping up with the vines of the jungle. Then landing, smash him in the head with a guitar. Who knew that would be so effective? This fight was really, really good in my opinion. Wario and Lucas, and plus Mewtwo versus... This fight being very, very long and very well done. Mewtwo versus Sephiroth are in second place in my opinion because it features everything that a battle should have. You and I are not so different. You'll find out that I'm so much more. Mewtwo using Psychic. This feature is a lot of action, a lot of combat, and the ending is a bit overdone, but the ending is what gives it a really good rating in my opinion. Because it's one of the most brutal endings out there that I've ever seen. With Mewtwo getting sliced and diced, and Lily turned and sent to hell. This fight animations are just amazing in my opinion. It means it gives a counter shield to just send all the bullets back at Mewtwo. Pretty well done. Having Mewtwo twist a spoon for a fight didn't really pan out that much. Psychic Fang, I think that is? I'm not sure what move that is actually. How pathetic. Even bringing the Mega Mewtwo Y to this fight. Having him use some sort of ice move to end up sum together and turn him into Ice Boulder. Kirby again. I noticed that last. I noticed always, but I just don't mention it. Having him frozen in the wall. Freezing him. Solid. Kinda does not stop him whatsoever. You are a shameful species. Yeah. Sephiroth was just getting started. Now it's real. Here I go. That's a Thunder Punch, I think. Bring this above the water for a fight. Mega Mewtwo Y. Now this is where the fight gets good. Icicle Spear. Burn. Reflect. Or Light Screen. And we shatter it. The fake false ending here. Having him use a heal move to heal up. Then I think that's Hyper Beam. Which Sephiroth just is like, yeah, nah. I don't care about that. Any last words? Oh, you are not gonna win. Yeah, you blinked. This does seem like something Sephiroth would do, is just summoning a meteor, and then have Mewtwo try to stop it. Mewtwo will try to stop the meteor. Sephiroth is very, very powerful. Now I shall give you Despair. Die. He's already dead. Into the depths of darkness. The ending being as brutal as it was gives it second place on this list, but first place goes to Wario. So you guys may be thinking, this fight just gets first place because I was featured in it? No. It was actually very, very, very well done. Like, Wario having his game consoles and actually started like this, and actually have Lucas deal with a video game master before in the past, and having this stuff happen, is very well done. That's a really well thought of idea. Having people get turned into mindless zombies because of Wario, and having Lucas having to deal with that kind of problem. Because Wario is a video game maker, and like having Lucas use all the gadgets he has really well, and all the crap that Wario has. These hand-drawn part, like the beginning count, that's amazing style. Like I said, Ball Warrior here, using that really well done. And having Wario just close all the gaps and just keep using all his crap to just start fighting in close. Like this, he wants to get in close and fight. They're showcasing him really well. Wario would just rush in. Puffy Warrior here. This animation is pretty well done for the Puffy Warrior and actually having a fight with his ability. I've never seen him actually use his ability while in combat. And having Lucas stack on his attacks and buffs like that, he would do that a lot. He wants to keep range. Using shield here to counter the bombs. The bear, which is coming in like this, and actually Warrior ride the bear. Very well done. This is really cool, having Warrior ride the bear. It's a fight full of nonsense, which is just perfect for Wario. This fight earns high regard in my opinion. It's the best fight by a mile, in my opinion. It earns its top spot. It is just so well done with Lucas stacking on attacks and buffs, and having Warrior not face most of everything that goes in him. Because he just have counters for them. Having Sparky over there. Sparky Wario. His Franklin badge taking effect. The 16-hit combo. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Having all 16 hits. Then he's PK Love. That right there. That face. It looks like Warrior's doing something very, very illegal. Warrior uses everything, plus Lucas uses everything in his opinion. They use everything they have. Heavy uses his hat to close the distance faster. Amazing. They just used everything they have. Warrior's bike, his dinosaur suit. The one thing this fight is missing is Warrior Submarine. That's the one thing I want to see missing. They use everything to their advantage in this fight to make it as weird as possible. Which I love that. I like weird, good fights. Hence why Yoshi versus Banjo was actually worth in 4th place. However, the best part's not done. I can't wait for the best part. That does nothing good at all. Ground pound? This. The ending there was hilarious. You guys remember watching my first video? I laughed my butt off when I saw that. That's just how Wario ended it. He'd be like, I win, wah! That's just how something Wario would do. He's really arrogant, really cocky, but this fight is the first place finisher in my regards. I really, really love this fight so much. It has everything done right for Wario versus Lucas. Thank you so much for watching the video. Don't forget to leave a subscribe. See ya!